A little later in this video, I'll be reading you a story about a girl's unhealthy obsession with Professor Utonium. But before we start, I'd like to give you guys a warning. The stories I read touch on some taboo subjects. I'll leave it up to you to decide if any of these really happen or not. However, there's no reason we can't have a laugh at the insanity. With that out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to a series I like to call Why Would Anyone Write This? My praise kink has gotten out of hand. Just reading the words good boy gets me hot and bothered, let alone any time a woman calls me
Good boy.
even if it's not a woman I'd otherwise be attracted to. It still turns me on. This kink can kind of be fun sometimes, but honestly, more often than not, I just feel overwhelmed by it, and it makes me struggle not to become a horny, submissive puddle on the ground.
What if the only way to get closer to the girl of your dreams is by becoming her dog?
Some people spend way too much time on the internet. Their brain is rotted away beyond repair. Like this next post, poem written for this Redditor's fictional future lover. It's called Future Husband. Mr. Black. Our family surname credit history is shit. Hence, I call myself Miss Blacklisted every time that surname is typed into the government system. Well, you know you'll be nicked, my son. Step forward. I know you want to. Together, we're stronger to fight this battle. You've got to start helping me. We're meant to be. We're meant to be a team, me and you. Your lovely Nan in spirit sent me. You've not been in your full mind. There's been influencers. Let it go. I love you. I'm curious to know what powers we'll gain once together. I really want to spit fireballs. I'm getting sent your XXX rated 24/7 wild thoughts. Pornhub, Diamond, Platinum. I'm quite impressed. Don't know if I'm that bendy. Know that I'll be in lycra stretching, flapping my bum bag, listening to your tunes. Come on then, bring it on. Realize the beast, let's go. When I imagine our reunion, I wonder if we talk first or get straight to it. Prop chat after, during the cigarette break. To y'all goblins reading this, lurkin' and jerkin', yuck man, you fat muggy y'all butters, you'll probably knock one out at the thought of us. Ew, yuck, cum stopper squadron, uggers, downs. I don't like girls because they poop. Girls who poop are disgusting. Wait till he finds out what's on the other end. Yeah, I know, I'm a child. Just for transparency's sake, I did edit this one quite a bit. There are just some parts that have no need to be included. I like to laugh at cringe, probably a lot more than the next person, but you know what they say, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Not that any of this is actually good to begin with. Alright, the story you guys are waiting for. I can't stop masturbating to Professor Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls. So, context. I've had a teacher-professor sexual fetish for a long time. Since I was 18. I've had flings with faculty from other colleges where math, engineering, and science professors. I'm severely emotionally conflicted about my actions and my choices. Because I'm going to college. In the STEM field. So they could theoretically be my teachers one day. Which is too close to home, so my mental health is absolutely I'm planning to transfer out of state and get a fresh start where I will lead a more normal life once I obtain the necessary credits for the transfer. Nobody will know what happened. I will start off fresh. Right now, I'm lonely. I know how genuinely this is, and I've been caught on several occasions partaking in romantic and sexual activities with my former teachers. It's an addiction. I want to stop doing it and find something healthier that my family would deem acceptable. I'm not attracted to people my age, and I feel more comfortable with someone who has experience. So, with all of that on the table, you're probably wondering, why wouldn't you just have a fling with one? And why are you jerking off to a cartoon character? I'm still getting over one of my exes, and we are still really close friends, but circumstances would make it so that both of our lives would be ruined if we were so much as spotted together or caught talking about anything that wasn't platonic or parent-child-like. The fact that they are so dominant in our relationship as friends and strict with rules yet nurturing tends to trigger my sexual desires in a heartbeat. I have no control over it, but I choose to be the friend they want despite these feelings getting stirred. I feel so guilty masturbating to them after being reminded about their parental role in my life that I often can't keep it up. It's not like I'm having sex with my father, yet people try to get in my head and make it seem that way, which is even more bothering to me. I'm not into incest. Gross. Older gentlemen are okay, but that gets boring so quickly because that's not enough of a commonality to build a relationship on. There's something so hot about having a braingasm about the same interests, and then losing your grip on sophistication and giving into your oppressed desires. I think they meant to say suppressed, because it should be. Anyways, this nerdy mother pops up on my reels, shorts, feed, whatever, and the way Cartoon Man carries himself in the conversation made me blush. I saved it. Then I waited like a day or two. I went back and kept watching it over and over again. I tried masturbating to it, and I could feel the moisture in my underwear. I kept getting hot and bothered. Then I came looking at YouTube compilations of the show, and then pictures, and then finally I gave up and started doing Rule 34 searches, but I got so bored with how muscly or bisexual everyone kept drawing him. I just liked the ones where he was almost just having vanilla sex, but that kind of nerdy, gentlemanly charm didn't seem to get lost. Still dominant though, out of all the things that made me hot for my ex. After I found it, I spent the entire night masturbating to it. I went to class the next day in a great mood, trying to delete or hide the photos I saved to my phone out of embarrassment. I finally switched to a different college, but still looking out of state. I didn't want to air out my dirty laundry for everyone to see again. I've had enough humiliation for one lifetime. I was feeling in such a good mood that once I got home, I started looking at him again. This time just clips. I had spent another 2 or 3 hours looking at it while hiding from my parents. I don't know what to do. I can't afford to have people knowing about this. But I have some big exams and assignments due, and people are counting on me. I'm debating over whether or not I can get away with it one more time tonight. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm genuinely disgusted. I fear that I will jeopardize any of my attempts to start a family of my own, or have a happy and loving marriage one day. It's led me down an intensely dark path of self-destruction due to self-hatred. I can't handle the guilt. I wish I could be normal. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of deal. It's actually Dr. Jekyll, not Jackal. You're going to college, so you should know this. I've started masturbating when my neighbors do domestic violence. It's always the same pattern. The sound of a woman yelling for a while, then a man yelling, then screams, and tables and chairs being thrown around, then more yelling, and then a car driving off and crying. Being a very sensitive person, I cried during the 6 o'clock news most nights, and aware of cultural differences, I didn't want to interfere with their ways, so I would watch a movie or mow the lawn if it was daytime thumping. Anything to block it out. But about a month ago, I was watching porn, and it started up. On my screen, my eyes were watching love and passion, but my ears were hearing hate, pain. It was like salt and caramel. Something clicked in my brain. Now every time I hear a shout, I get out the cornflour and get myself ready for a massive tug session. I even got a little stiffy at the supermarket the other day with a couple that were arguing about buying something. I'm just hoping my mom doesn't yell at me for forgetting her birthday this year, because that would be weird. I saved the worst for last. Sorry. I roused my 19-year-old son in bed. Me and my son were staying around with family, and we had to share a bed. This is fairly normal, as we are a close family, and often walk around the house in underwear, etc. For my whole life, I've always slept in my underwear, and a tank top, so this was normal attire for me to sleep in on this occasion. Okay, so right off the bat, she's already justifying what is a clear poor choice, considering the circumstance. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a special word. It's called boundaries. If you know you have to share a bed because you're visiting family, maybe don't do it in a tank top and panties. I'm sure most women that do the same will know underwear will often ride up our ass cheeks and will be uncomfortable. So I had to readjust when my son was laying beside me. He was only wearing his boxers. It took me a few attempts to get a grip of my panties and pull them out, but as I did so, the back of my hand, the word she used here was stoked. Did she mean stroked or struck? Now I have an image in my head of her giving this imaginary penis a pep talk, trying to get it hyped. She really got that penis stoked. Your son is a grown-ass man. Why is he still in bed with mommy? I'm going to need a play-by-play explanation of this. What are the dimensions of this bed? Are you laying down? Is this a queen-size bed? Are you both on a twin size? So many questions here. Because for me, if my boxes are riding up in uncomfortable positions, I'll usually get up to do it. I won't leave the bed, but I'll lift myself and my body up to do this. The only way I can physically imagine this happening is if you're both laying down and he's holding you in bed. Which again, why is your grown ass son sleeping in bed with you? Someone needs to sleep on the floor. I could feel the immediate movement from him, as this was probably unexpected, but as he began to get an erection, I felt his against my ass cheek. I don't think he intended for this to happen, but it definitely makes it quite awkward. A couple minutes later, he jabs an arm out and brushes across my ass, and then says, "Oh my god, sorry, but I think we all know he meant to do this." What do you mean you know he meant to do this? No mom in the world would think he meant to do this. Like, what do you think of your son? If this is real, and I'm not saying it is, this could probably be an involuntary reaction. The fact that you immediately jumped to "my son now wants to me" is so deranged. I feel crazy. Kill me. Seriously, I want to die. Okay, let's continue. It's the next morning, and he had left the bed by the time I woke up. Not sure what to say to him. It's really simple. Honey, you're too old for this. Tomorrow you sleep on the floor. Lady, you need to stop. Alright guys, that's it. That's all I have for you. Yeah, should have warned you about the last one. But that's it. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for things you want me to cover. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next one.